Let's talk Bitcoin, shall we? So back in 2020, we got an increase from 12K to about 64K in the matter of months. If you think about it though, 2020 was when COVID happened and the government injected so much money into the economy to stimulate cryptocurrencies and stocks and whatnot. Not to mention the fact that Bitcoin's halving was also in 2020, I believe, while the price reflected later that year. So it is now currently 2023. I have my eyes on Bitcoin, Ethereum, of course. I'm making sure these tokens have utilization and the ability to stay here within the next 10 years. So Bitcoin's halving is in April of 2024. When Bitcoin's halving occurred in May of 2020, it took about half a year for the price to reflect, a little bit more. So I'm assuming the halving in 2024 is going to take about 6 months to 7 months. But this also depends on how the economy is stimulated too, because we're currently under, of course you guys know, the interest rates are off the charts. Things are just not looking too good for the average buyer, the average consumer, and we'll see what happens with that. And the dollar is currently going back up from its high of about 114, as you can see here. So, the dollar is gaining strength, the euro's losing strength. To be honest, I think we have a lot more downside to go with Bitcoin. I'm kind of eyeing, I'm not sure. I don't think we've bottomed on Bitcoin just yet. It could still touch numbers lower than 26,000 in my opinion until the halving and whatever economic stimulation we get soon. So I'm hoping to see that Bitcoin can hit 100K this cycle. And it's very probable. We have a lot of newcomers coming onto the market, so we'll see what happens with that. And of course, there's a lot of factorization that goes along with this that I haven't touched on. I'm just touching the basics, the surface level of any surface level investor can look on. So I could make more videos on in-depth analysis on banks and institutions that adopt Bitcoin and news in the crypto market. So I'm just currently generalizing this investment right now and my thesis of Bitcoin's 100K move from, I want to say 20K or so. So we'll go from there. And of course, I kind of want to get into the dollar a little bit more. I've heard some people say, oh, well, the dollar has to crash in order for Bitcoin to go up. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I think the dollar is going to continue to go up versus the euro. Japan also, the GPY USD chart is for sure going to go up because the dollar correlates with GPY, so I'm sure they're both going to go up while the euro goes down in other markets as well. Now, what others may call a mild recession, for others have been a very aggressive recession with inflated prices. This also correlates with the real estate market. Houses are continuing to soar. Here in my market in Las Vegas, the housing market is continuously growing, and I don't think there's any sight in the end. This is a completely new market. This is something to take into consideration of. This is a new market. This is new territory. This isn't 2008 anymore. This is 2023 and forward and so forth. So it's going to be a complicated and very hard to predict market. But with the right tools, with the right mind, with the right analysis, we can get down and crack down on these prices and be able to predict some of these markets. In my opinion, I know there's a lot of people out there who don't really believe in intuition, but in my system, I definitely include my intuition. So I go whatever my gut feeling tells me, and ultimately, we'll go from there. So I'm looking at Bitcoin at 100K, the dollar to continue to surge, real estate markets to continue to surge, at least for me here in Las Vegas, and the euro to drop. I'm currently looking for a shorting position on the euro, but yeah, so we'll just go from there.